Alright, what's good everybody? Welcome back to the kitchen. You will learn today to bake with your boy Steve again. Now, first and foremost, before we start, that last video I did with the s'mores cheesecake and strawberry cheesecake, y'all showed so much love. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Me and my boy Trey greatly appreciate y'all. The response was overwhelming. I prayed I got to respond to everybody, strangers and people I know. Don't think I was annoying everybody. I was a little bit overwhelmed, but the love was greatly appreciated. So I want to thank y'all. So that's why we're here for episode number 2, Baking with your boy Steve. So this is what we gonna do, y'all. I went through all the texts, all the comments, and I keep getting asked about 2 different things. Oreo cheesecake and strawberry crunch cheesecake. So today, I'm gonna show you how to make both. I got y'all. So last time I didn't show y'all, before I started mixing, what's in the bowl. There's your 3 blocks of cream cheese, your 3 eggs, your 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and your sugar, 3/4 cups. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna blend it up and we'll put it in here. If you forgot how to make pie crust from scratch, which I bought my pie crust, I'm cheap, I'm not about to make from scratch. I am very lazy, people. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You can take some sugar, some graham crackers, and some melted butter, pat it all together, and that's how you make your crust. You wanna make Oreo crust from scratch? Take some Oreos and you do the same thing, just minus the sugar, get some melted butter, you can make your crust like that. So now, we can blend up over here, and we have it on the lowest setting. We never gonna have it high. You have it high, you gonna whip it too much, and you're liable to break it. So now, so now that I blended it real good, it's all soft. And make sure when your cream cheese, before you mix it, make sure it's softened. This go around, I did not put it in the microwave. I actually let it sit out for 2 hours so it gets soft. And then I came here and I put everything together. So I'm gonna put that over there so it don't spill a little bit. So after I'm done with the blender, I'm gonna take this, make sure I get every little piece. Make sure all the egg and everything's mixed in there. The sugar, make sure it's all good. And like I said, you don't want to whip it too hard with the blender anyway, so that's why you finish off hand mixing it. So, now that that's done, I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to fill this pie crust up. Turn it, try to make sure I get it right. Alright, I'm gonna add a little bit more. And for those asking, well, how do I know how much is enough? Try and get it up to where it's only like a little bit not showing the top, because the cheesecake will rise regardless. And then plus when you put it on toppings, it's gonna cover it up anyway, so it really don't matter. So now that I got this done, I'm gonna be a little different today. Normally when I make Oreo cheesecake, I put a little bit of filling in down there, and then afterwards I put Oreos in it. Today, I'm gonna be a little different. I'm gonna take some M&Ms, I'm gonna mix it, and with the filling. So, now that I see that ain't enough, finish off. Right there. Now, I'm going to add the rest of this filling in here. Make sure I get everything out. Now that I got that situated, the M&Ms are lightly scattered. And that's not all the M&Ms I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add a little bit more after it's done baking, but I'm gonna make sure they already broken up in the crunches, and I'm gonna put them on top along with some Oreos and maybe some whipped cream. Everybody's not a fan of whipped cream, but for today's demonstration, I'm gonna use it just to decorate. So now, that's situated, I'm gonna come over here. And over here, right now, you see flour, you see Jell-O, you see Insta pudding. You see half a stick of butter, or 4 teaspoons, whatever you want to be technical, I don't care. This is how y'all make y'all crunch. Everybody thinks the crunch is so complicated, it is not. What I'm gonna do now, is go take this stick of butter, I'm gonna pour all of the Jell-O in here with the butter. I'm gonna do the same thing with this Insta pudding. I'm gonna put it all in here. And you don't have to mix it separate, but just for today's demonstration, I'm going to mix it separate, people. Just for y'all. Now that that's done, I'm gonna use the other half a stick of butter. And I'm gonna take half a cup of flour for both. I'm gonna put it on top. And now that that's done, I'm gonna move this out the way. And all I'm gonna do is mix it all together with this until it becomes a crumbling. So just chop pieces of the butter up. And then you're gonna mix it in. And then what I'm gonna do is after I'm done mixing both of them, I'm gonna bake it. I'm gonna bake it on 350 for 10 minutes. And then afterwards, I'm gonna take it out of the oven and I'm gonna put it in the freezer right afterwards for 10 minutes as well. And it's gonna become frozen, it's gonna become stiff, and it's gonna be real, real crunchy afterwards. And that's when I'm gonna break it up, and then that's when it's gonna become the actual crunch part that everybody is so fascinated with. And you ain't gotta mix the butter completely all the way in, because it's gonna melt when it gets inside of the oven. So, now that I got that side situated, I'm gonna try to cut this butter up right here. And like I said, you can do it separate or you can do it all together. It's your preference. I'm just doing it separate this time. Normally, I put everything together from the first round and then just be done with it. But I am gonna put it together on this parchment paper right here. So when I put it in the oven, it'll bake. And afterwards, like I said, I'm gonna put it on top. I'm gonna take the cheesecake out after it's done. It's gonna cool for 2 hours. After I'm done doing that, I'm gonna put a little bit of strawberry glaze on top before I put the crumbling on. I'm gonna cut some fresh strawberries up. I'm gonna put a little bit more glaze and some whipped cream with that. And then voila, we'll be done. But that's gonna be in part 2 video. I still haven't learned how to edit, people, so I'm sorry, bear with me. I will learn how to edit, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm lazy. So, come back over here and mix this up some more. As you can see, the butter is starting to stick in here. Let's go crumble a little bit. So now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take, I'm gonna spread some out on the parchment paper. If you ain't got parchment paper, yes, you can use aluminum foil, but make sure you spray butter up there. Parchment paper is non-stick, so it's a little bit easier. So I took a little bit of that. I'm gonna make sure I show y'all a picture and stuff after everything is done as well, like I did last time. Alright. A little bit more strawberry. And add the rest of this. And I always put strawberry on top. That's just me. It doesn't really matter which order it goes, honestly. Like I said, you can combine it anyway. So now, I'm gonna mix this up some more on the parchment paper. And I'll spread it out. Don't judge me, I'm making a mess like a 5-year-old, people. This is how you know I do not cook crack in the kitchen. I'm not good at whipping. So, now that I pretty much got everything spread it out, Everything's in here. What I'm about to do now, I'm gonna put both cheesecakes inside the oven on 350. I'm gonna put both of them in there for 32 minutes, and then I'm gonna take them out. The way you know they're done, when you take them out, you stick a toothpick or a fork. I prefer a fork. You see how gluey and gelatin it is now? It's all gluey now. It's gonna look like a cottage cheese-like substance when you pull it back out, okay? So afterwards, you should be done. You will let it sit on the counter for 15 to 30 minutes. My advice, do 30 minutes. That way it won't break when you take it out of the refrigerator later on. So after that, you'll be at it. And then after that, I'm gonna give y'all part 2. So give me a little while, give y'all part 2. Let's get it, we're back here part 2. This is the strawberry crunch cheesecake and the M&M Oreo cheesecake. So first, I'm gonna start off with the strawberry crunch cheesecake. It's been in the refrigerator a couple of hours now. We good. I made the crunch. As you can see, it's all crumbly and stuff now, you know what I mean? I done baked it, froze it, and all that other good stuff. So yeah, now we can take the strawberry glaze. I'm gonna put some up here before I put the crumblers up here. So I'm gonna take that. Let's see. My table, this is so clutch. Carrie, if you watch this, I thank you. I love and miss you, my friend. You are clutch. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise, girl. So, I got the glaze up here. I'm not gonna completely cover it, and I'm gonna show y'all why. Now, I always leave the edges like that. So now that I did that, take some of the crumblers. Scatter it across. There we go. There we go. I'm taking my time, y'all, because I don't want to get everything dirty. But as you can hear, it crumbling is hitting. Yeah, it's everywhere. You don't need all the crumbling. It's usually more than what it needs. But still, I always make a tad bit extra, being the safe side. It's better to have more than to have not enough. So now, as y'all can see, everything's covered up. Here's your fresh strawberries. I'm gonna add them up here. I cleaned them, I cut them up. So now, I've added this. Add all the fresh strawberries. Bam. Now, it's optional whether you use whipped cream or not. For this one, I'm not gonna use whipped cream. I'm gonna use it for something else. Well, I'm gonna use it for this cheesecake. Don't you do it. Don't you think like that. I'm gonna use it for this cheesecake. I'm gonna take some of this strawberry glaze that I put here in the bag, and I'm gonna cover this all over the strawberries. And then I'm gonna come around with it. I always come around the edge. I don't know why, it's a habit, but I just like always covering around the edge. So now, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna empty this bag out, cover it all up. There we go. Yeah. All right. Now, I still got my strawberries, so I'm gonna use them. Put some more strawberries up. And I'm gonna grab a couple of more crumblers. Just to go over the glaze a little bit. I ain't gonna cover the whole thing. But yeah. See? And that's how y'all make a strawberry crumb cheesecake. You know what? I told y'all I was gonna put some whipped cream up there. I lied. Just go put some in the middle. Just to make it look pretty. Voila, it looks like a real cake now. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna give y'all a nice up close look at it. And that is done. So now I'm gonna move this real pretty over here. And we're gonna get back to the M&M cheesecake with the Oreo crust. So now, I'm gonna decorate that. And we'll pause for a second. I'm gonna wash my hands. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I had to wash my hands. Stay corona free, y'all. Wash hands. So, I'm gonna take a couple of Oreos. There's a couple of ways you can design this. This go around, I'm gonna make it look like a mini fortress. So what I'm gonna do is Oreo right there, bring it around here, right here. And I'm gonna keep going around the whole cheesecake. Now, after I'm done doing that, I'm gonna put an Oreo piece in the middle. But I'm gonna use this piece of Oreo. But what I'm gonna do is add a couple more M&Ms. And God, forgive me, this is gonna be a real sweet tooth for y'all. I hope nobody catches diabetes after eating this. But yeah, and a little bit more. There's no such thing as too fat, right, y'all? At least that's what I get told, but I eat healthy, so I think it's fat, but that's just me. So, as you can see, the M&Ms are poured out. Now remember I told you, I'm using whipped cream this go around. For sure. So what I'm gonna do is, now that I got all that, you know what, I'm gonna add some more M&Ms. I don't want to be selfish. Yeah, that side is looking kind of naked. Y'all can see that I did. Just naked. So, now, I'm gonna take and use my table. And I'm gonna go around the whole table twice and make sure this is covered up. And then I'm gonna go in the middle right here. Voila. You see? Now that the whipped cream is done, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm amazed at my damn self right now. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That shit looks good. The stuff looks good. No profanity. Then I'm gonna put some dustings over top. And then, after that, once it gets too small, just break it up and put it inside. I'm gonna break this piece. And I'm gonna keep putting a little bit more shavings up here. And then, voila. You have an M&M Oreo cheesecake. It's kind of like a McFlurry, but I don't eat it, so yeah, teach his own. I don't eat 90% of the stuff that I make. But that's just me, I'm not a chocolate lover. But either which way, that will conclude the video for today. I thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Share, comment, whatever y'all gotta do. Regardless, I appreciate y'all for taking the time out to look for me and look at this. Y'all get a good look at this again now that it's finished. Give y'all a good look over here. Strawberry crumb and Oreo cheesecake. If I missed anything in the video that y'all feel like I should have went over, that y'all need questions, y'all know how to contact me, let me know. Until next time, y'all be safe, peace, and yeah.